Hey, what's going on, guys? So here we are to review round three in San Diego. It was actually a better race than I was expecting with the rain. The track held up pretty well. It's a much different kind of dirt than San Fran, so it wasn't too hard, but it was really slick. But it seemed decently raceable come main event time. So good job for the track crew for prepping that. But it ended up being kind of a really interesting main event in the 250s for me, at least seeing, there's three guys that could have won it and kind of what went down. But starting off, Jordan Smith finishes third, but rides like a champion. And this is something that I feel like he hasn't done in the past. He was up there in the front, looked like he wanted to race a bit, but then he just kind of like slowly fell back and forth and just kind of like he took fourth place. That was where he was going to finish. He didn't push it to try to catch up to anybody, and it ended up paying dividends at the end there because RJ Hampshire did what he could not do. He's ahead of Jordan, and he's making a charge kind of at the end there to try to pass Marchbanks and Thrasher, who were a little bit faster than him in the whole main. And then he comes off that triple and that double, and I think I didn't really get to see exactly what happened because of the coverage, but he crashed in that left hand corner. I was wondering if he clipped that inside block or not, but I mean, that was he had two corners to go after that corner, and he would have finished third. He would have got some points on Jordan. I think it would have been 5 points out, but now he's 13 because he crashed. It bumped him all the way down to seventh, and it allowed Jordan to finish in third in front of him on the podium, and that's like what he couldn't do. And there was really no reason besides the fact that he could gain some more points and be closer to him in the championship, but there was no reason for RJ to do that. That's why I think Jordan Smith rode like a champion, and RJ overrid at the end, and it bit him. Now Levi Kitchen, he looked really great from the start. I thought he was going to make a pass around like Hampshire and possibly win the main. And I think he would have won the main had he gotten around RJ, but he went on the outside, kind of got in a bad rut, and he crashed. And it was just like a situation where he should have followed probably RJ into the inside line rather than take that outside, because the outside was going to be slower, I think, regardless, because he couldn't jump up the kind of like the step up. And yeah, it bit him, and he ended up finishing fifth. It was very disappointing after he crashed, because I thought he was going to go win it, and then it was going to be he was going to gain a lot of points on Jordan, and it was going to be really interesting to see if Levi could possibly win a championship. It bit him. He's still in the championship though, so no worries. He's actually only 8 points down, so he's good. And another unlucky main event for Joe Shimoda. He gets wheel spin really bad off the start straight, and you see it happen on a replay. I thought he got just another bad start, but I'm gonna call this unlucky just because the circumstances, and like his bike came off the entire like middle grate he was on almost to the right, and I mean, it's just unfortunate for him. Loses more points to Jordan Smith. I think he's 31 points down, or a little bit more than that. So just another bad night for Joe. That's kind of the story of his year. Hopefully he can maybe turn around and get a win next week, because he needs too bad. Joe didn't end up getting fourth though, right behind Jordan Smith, so he didn't lose that many points, but still, he cannot lose any points. He has to make up chunks of points at this point, because you're only like a third of the way into the 250 West season, because they're so short. That's going to be a real challenge. Now, the two stars of the main that I really enjoyed seeing up there, something different, that's always good for me, is, first off, Nate Thrasher. He looked really good in the kind of half mud, half dry main. He looked so good. He got a little bit of help from the lapper. I think he may have caught Marchbanks either way. I was kind of hoping Marchbanks was going to win, but anyways, he looked great. He caught up there. And he passed Garrett, and then that was kind of it. Now Garrett Marchbanks, he stayed on top of him at the end there. I was really hoping he would find a way to get back by. But anyways, what happened to Garrett? He was leading, and he took the same line as a lapper in a turn, and then kind of like bumping into the back of his rear wheel. completely screwed him, and he lost a couple seconds. He had like I think a second and a half on Thrasher when it happened, and Thrasher went by. But that's racing. That happens. It's unfortunate because I would have loved to seen him get a win. That would have been awesome. Uh, but he still got second, so now he got third last week, got second this week. Hopefully his confidence is up, and he's been a rider that maybe some confidence will get his results going. And I hope so, but he did really well. And then shout out to Nate Thrasher for coming back after all the injuries that he had. He said he couldn't walk for 12 weeks after he's got the ACL repair and he had some shoulder stuff last year. It's good to see him come back and get a win so soon. And then other factory riders, you got Ryder D, he got 8th, and Julian Beaumer, he struggled in 16th. Hopefully we get some dry tracks for Julian Beaumer so he can get some experience in the dry. I think he could use that after San Diego and San Francisco. But back in Anaheim, back in California again, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get some dry tracks. And that is it for the 250 class. It's going to be interesting to see how Jordan Smith is going to manage his points lead now. Levi Kitchen's still in there, and Kitchen is a guy who, if he gets a whole shot, he could check out and win the race. So, but then again, I don't know if RJ is going to really override now to catch up points, and he could end up taking Levi and RJ out, but I don't know. Hopefully, RJ can stay, rubber side down. We'll see. And Jordan Smith, just keep riding like you rode in San Diego, because he rode his race, and he got the more points from it. I mean, didn't push anything. It was a good race. That was a championship ride, and we'll see what happens in the 250 class. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.